Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoint and here are 10 desk accessories that are actually worth buying. So if you're looking to improve the overall look of your desk, add some new gear to it, or you need some inspiration for gift ideas, hopefully today's video will help you out. Everything that I show you today is linked below with any available discount codes. And thank you to Ugreen for sponsoring a portion of today's video. So one of the worst things about having a setup is the amount of dust that it attracts, especially if you have a black desk. Well, that's where this little thing comes in handy. This is a handheld air duster, and it seriously makes keeping the desk looking clean so much easier, and it actually looks nice with its pretty minimal design. So the one that I have here holds a charge for about 15 minutes, and it'll take 2 hours or so to charge up using USB-C. It's great for cleaning the keyboard or removing small bits of dust that are around the accessories, but I will be honest, I don't exclusively use this to dust my desk, as blowing the dust will just move it to somewhere else in my room. So what I'll often do is wipe down my desk with a microfiber cloth, then any bits that are left over I will use the air blower. It's also great for doing unboxings on the channel, as instead of wiping the screen of my monitors or TVs, I can use this instead. But one thing to note though, it is pretty noisy. Now most of the items on my desk are charged by USB-C, so I'm using one of these charging docks from Ugreen. It has 2 USB-C ports and 2 USB-A ports, and has a 65 watt fast charging capability. I've actually stuck this underneath my desk so it keeps it looking tidy, and I've set it far enough back that I cannot see it when I'm sitting here. I'll often use this for charging my mobile gimbal, keyboard and mouse, and as it's hidden away, it's not taking up any space on top of my desk. So over the last couple of years, I've swapped my microphone out quite a lot, as I'm always looking to improve my audio for the channel. I have been pretty happy with the Shure MV7, which is a USB mic, but recently I picked up the Logitech Sonar. This is an XLR dynamic mic with its own clear amp technology built in, so you don't need a mic booster as well. Now I've not used this yet for any videos on the channel, as I'm still tweaking it, but from my testing so far, this is going to be my new favourite mic. It looks awesome as well, and it's available in either black or white. And I'm using this connected to the blue compass arm, which I've had for years. I still think this is the nicest looking mic arm out there, and it's got plenty of movement to get it to almost anywhere on my desk. And as the Sonar is an XLR mic, it does need an audio interface. I looked at about 4 and ended up with this one, and it's actually with thanks to Olier or Ultralinks for recommending this to me. Most interfaces have the ports on the front, which means the cables can be seen, whereas the Evo 4 has the ports on the rear. It looks a lot neater this way, and overall the design and the buttons are really clean. I do still need to tidy up the cables on my desk, but so far this looks really good. Now for me, this mic setup is the best that I've ever had, but value for money, the Shure MV7 is a bargain, and it's a simple plug and play USB mic. Plus the last 50 videos on my channel were all recorded with this mic, including today's video. To keep my desk looking well lit, I'm using one of these BenQ screen bars. This is the Halo edition, and it's powered by USB. It clips onto the top of the monitor, and it overhangs very slightly to light up the desk. It's then controlled via this dial where you can adjust the brightness and temperature, or you can simply press the auto button and it will do it all for you. I was never really a fan of these, as I thought they looked a little bit gimmicky, but having used one for the last 6 months, I can see the hype. It lights up my space without interfering with the screen, and it means one less lamp cluttering up the desk. Next up, let's talk webcams. This is the Insta360 Link, and it's without doubt the best 4K webcam that you can buy right now. Firstly, it's tiny, it's a lot smaller than I was expecting, but it supports HDR, can clip onto your monitor, and has some incredible AI-powered features. I know that most laptops have webcams built in, which are fine to use, but if you want to up your video call game, this is definitely the way to do it. Or if you dock your laptop like me, well, you can't use the webcam anyway. This almost deserves a dedicated video, it's that good. But overall, it has gesture controls, AI tracking, show your desk view instead. And then there's the lens, which is awesome. It's by far the best quality webcam that I've ever used. Even the focus and the depth of field is really impressive on it. And this little box is the Ugreen Diginess Cube. It's essentially a 7-in-1 extension lead that's been redesigned into this neat and minimal cube. It's got a 1.8 meter cable with a normal plug on one end and has 3 AC outlets on the other. These can reach up to 3,680 watts in total power, so I could plug in any of my devices, including my monitor or my lamp. Then on top of that, it has 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C ports, where the USB-C is capable of up to 65 watts. If I grab a couple of USB cables cables, I can charge my iPhone and this Red Magic phone at the same time. There's also a 100-watt version on their site as well. But what I like most about this is the fact that it's so small you could take this away with you. As let's be honest, most hotels only ever have 1 or 2 spare plugs that you can use. Then on the side there's a physical switch to turn it on and off, along with an LED on the front to show you if it's powered on. And if you want to check out the full spec and price, which currently has 20% off, I have dropped a link below to the Digi Nest Cube. Ugreen are also running discounts across their entire range, so it's worth taking a look. Now you can't have a desk setup without a keyboard and mouse. So my daily keyboard is this, the Logitech MX keys, which I've been using for the last 3 years. It's slim, has low profile keys, and it's really nice to type on. This one also connects to both Windows and Mac via Bluetooth, so I can swap between the two at a press of a button. Then another keyboard that I've recently started using this year is the MX mechanical keyboard. It's very similar in style with the grey and low profile, but it's got that nice mechanical key press and a pretty comfortable typing experience. Overall, it's obviously thicker than the normal MX keys, but I do prefer this for typing on, although it is noticeably louder. And as for a mouse, I would highly recommend the Logitech MX Master range. For the last 3 years I've been using the MX Master 3, but it was starting to look a little tired, so I very recently replaced it with the 3S. Now other than the colour, it looks almost identical, but the 3S is noticeably quieter when clicking. It's also got an improved DPI sensor, but for me these are the most ergonomic mice. Is it mice or mouse? Anyway, these are the most ergonomic mice I've ever used. I never get cramp in my hands even after a full day of use, and they are incredibly precise. So I feature this drill in almost every TV and monitor unboxing on the channel. It is used a lot, and it's called the Fantic NEX screwdriver, and it's awesome. On the top there's a little LED screen and there's 2 buttons, one to change the direction of the drill and the other to change the torque or the power level. I often just use number 1 or 2 as that's enough for most builds. It feels nice to hold, and as far as screwdrivers go, it's quite stylish. It also comes with a case, various drill bits and a USB-C cable for charging. This is one of those accessories that you'd use exclusively for building nice things inside your house, as opposed to one that you just throw in your garage. Of course a manual drill would be fine as well, but I like the convenience and the speed of this. So I'll assume that most of your accessories are charged via USB-C. Mine include the keyboard, mouse, air blower and even my drill. And although most of them do come with their own USB cables, some don't, or they are too short and flimsy. So instead, I would recommend picking up a dedicated cable that you can use just for charging. I'm using these braided USB-C cables I just keep in my drawer. One is from Ugreen that is 1 meters long, and the other is from Scuff, which is 2 meters long. But overall, I do prefer using the Scuff one just due to the length as well as the quality. And also the braided cables feel a lot thicker and more premium, at least compared to normal accessory cables. And if you've got a drawer or a cabinet in your room, you might want to keep it more organised. Inside my drawer, I've tried to keep it relatively tidy, so I'm using one of these organiser trays from Grovemade. To be honest, there are cheaper alternatives out there, but it fits perfectly in my drawer, it's well made, and it looks nice. And as it's a tray, it can be removed completely from the drawer if I needed to grab more than one item at a time. So it's metal on the outside with these hard foam dividers to keep your wallet, SSDs and pens neatly organised, and it stops them from rolling around in your drawer. But I also know that IKEA do some rubber ones, which would make a great alternative to this. Right, so staying hydrated is one of the best things you can do. It's something that I'm usually pretty good at. I'll often have a glass of water within arm's reach, or I will use one of these 2 water bottles, either the all black chili bottle or this Yeti bottle, which is probably my favourite. And as both of these bottles are insulated, it's a great way to keep your drink cooler or hotter for hours. And as the Yeti one is quite big, what I will do is fill it up once in the morning and once at lunchtime, and it will keep me going for most of the day. Plus, let's be honest, drinking more water definitely keeps you more focused while you work. Okay, so that was a quick look at some of my top desk accessories worth buying. Hopefully there were a few ideas in here for your own setup, but don't forget I have linked to everything below. Now drop a nice setup in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out my 2023 desk tour video.